Make me listen again. It is working. Hear it. Okay. L'enfant qui souffre de surdité a besoin qu'on lui décortique un petit peu plus ce qu'on fait. Au départ, quand on parle d'un enfant non-verbal, si on quitte la pièce, mais il n'a pas compris nécessairement où on s'en va.
Les problèmes d'audition peuvent être présents à la naissance. Malheureusement, les problèmes d'audition sont invisibles. Ça ne se voit pas.
For children that are hearing impaired, it's a little bit different because not only do they not have the aesthetic appreciation of sound, but they also don't have the ability to use their hearing and their listening to develop speech and language and to pick up academics through the listening system. So for them, it's a much more serious problem.
I don't even remember grade 1 at all, kindergarten. It was like totally blackout. Like, I think it's because I didn't have hearing aids, I didn't have glasses, I didn't hear anything. So it was hard to like say that I learned anything.
Communication is difficult because, you know, you involve reading lips and listening.
Le problème quand on est sourd comme moi est que il faut intégrer, il faut comprendre le mot, entendre le mot, l'intégrer et faire la traduction. Et c'est difficile.
Les enfants malentendants avec leur déficit auditif sont très curieux au niveau visuel, au niveau tactile, sont curieux de tout et de toutes les stimulations, mais quand on leur donne la stimulation auditive avec leurs appareils ou avec les implants, c'est tout un monde qui s'ouvre à eux.
Now, with the possibility of bilateral cochlear implants, there's the possibility that these children might actually be developing speech and language normally.
It completely transformed us as people. I think that it made us far more aware of what other families go through. It changed me as a person, as a mother, but also as a pediatrician.
Well, the Montreal Oral School is a almost 60-year-old establishment where we teach children to listen and talk.
Just the feeling that we got when we walked into the Montreal Oral School, we walked in the door, we saw children laughing, talking, playing, we saw children running around, active, children who looked healthy and vibrant.
C'est une école qui est un modèle pour Montréal, qui est aussi un modèle en Amérique du Nord.
Most educational institutions don't work with babies, and yet we have a baby program because that is considered to be crucial to the services we offer. We also offer audiological services, psychosocial services, wonderful educational programs.
Les gens qui travaillent pour cette école sont des gens qui font ça avec amour. Chaque enfant, c'est comme leur propre enfant.
As a parent, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do. They really hold your hand on how to accept the loss and how to teach your child language.
So that is what one of our biggest strengths at the Montreal Oral School is teaching parents how to be advocates for their children and how to be teachers for life.
They started the parent-infant program, and so they thought that it would be helpful to the parents when they're newly diagnosed to have another parent to be able to talk to and to support.
And during the play groups, we also have audiology time. So during audiology, and we find out what their hearing levels are, we work on their implants, so a variety of things depending on what each child needs.
Il y a des techniques, il y a des stratégies d'utilisation qui sont pointues, qui doivent être apprises, mais vraiment intégrées après ça dans le quotidien. Donc pour nous, dans notre approche, c'est vraiment de stimuler l'audition le plus possible, à tous les moments de la journée.
The whole world is open to children with hearing loss now. It doesn't have to be something to hold any child back. And there are still lots of factors that can compromise children's learning, but hearing doesn't have to be one of them anymore.
I'm going to go to Florence for 4 weeks to a language school to learn Italian.
Studying science, pure and applied, and I'm hoping that I will become a mechanical engineer, which is I've always wanted to be.
L'audition est l'entrée, la première entrée pour tout ce qui est stimulation. Alors, stimulation langagière, mais stimulation cognitive, sociale, tout l'environnement. L'enfant apprend, premièrement, par le mode auditif.
The earlier they're diagnosed, the more comfortable they are with their hearing aids or cochlear implants. It's part of them. They don't know any difference. They are comfortable with it. They manage their hearing equipment beautifully. The later diagnosed children that I've met that are 5 and 6 and 7 are less comfortable. They don't wear them as regularly.
But when he was diagnosed, we very quickly learned a lot of information, and we realized that a cochlear implant was in our son's best interest. And we realized that the surgery should be as soon as possible, because the later you leave it, the more brain changes have occurred. So we went to Quebec City to find out about the program, and we heard that he would have to wait till he was 2 or 2.5.
Tests done in the United States have shown that children that are caught at newborn babies, compared to catching them later, have a 20 to a 40% improvement in their school mark.
On sait que si on peut trouver un déficit, les enfants qui sont sourds à naissance, on peut avoir une intervention tôt. Et ça fait toute la différence pour l'enfant.
It just took me longer to catch up because I found out I was hearing at an older age.
We happened to get tested, but we got tested privately. It cost money. Everybody should have the same opportunity in the hospitals to be done first thing. They can have hearing aids early and they'll succeed in life.
Every state in the United States now, as well as many corners of the world, do newborn screening, and we still don't have a universal program in Quebec, although we're very close to having it now.
Him and I and other members of the coalition have been petitioning the Quebec government to put in place a universal screening program for Quebec.
C'est une situation, on dit en anglais win-win, gang-gang. Ça veut dire que c'est pas juste les enfants, leur famille qui vont gagner par un diagnostic tôt, mais c'est aussi la société.
The cost of doing the testing is about $5 million a year. We've calculated that the net payback at a very conservative level is somewhere in the $2 million a year rate.
I can't be a pediatrician, I can't be a mother, I can't be a citizen here unless I work on this. From a very young age, I've wanted to be a physician, and I can't think why, except that when I was very young I had a lot of allergies, and so I had to go to the doctor often, and I always thought it was just such an interesting thing to go to his office and see all the instruments. So I think even when I was 8 or 9 years old, if you would ask me what do I want to be, it would be to be a doctor. I was pregnant with my first child. We found out at about 7 months that he was deaf. Because our son had such a profound hearing loss, he could hear nothing. They said, well, you know, you should get ready for sign language.
Il a eu son premier implant cochléaire à l'âge de 12 mois et je pense un jour.
Something that we have really wanted to give to our son is a feeling of self-confidence and a feeling that he is capable. He's going to live an independent life, that he's going to be able to advocate for himself, advocate for other hearing impaired children if he so chooses, and he's going to pay tax.
Moi, quand je pense au Dr Patel, la première chose qui me vient, c'est un mot anglais, mais c'est genuine. C'est quelqu'un de vrai.
Well, what really impressed me about Emma when I met her was her passion. As a pediatrician, as a mother of a deaf child, as somebody who cares passionately for this, is unbelievable.
Elle a une capacité à rendre le monde aux alentours de la table de se sentir confortable.
She's also very intuitive, so she has an idea of what will have impact and what will convince people. Emma, I couldn't be more happy to honor you this evening at the Garnier Kids event. It has been wonderful working alongside of you with your work as a parent, as a pediatrician, as a professional in the field, and as a board member at our school.
Ça souligne le bon travail que tu es en train de faire, puis je te souhaite la meilleure des chances, puis encore félicitations.
Thank you so much for all your help. You pointed me in the right direction and saw me through a very dark time in my life.
Dr. Hema Patel, c'est un honneur de vous connaître, de travailler en collaboration avec vous.
Thank you, Hema, very, very much for everything you've done for us.
Thank you very much, Hema, for all of your work on behalf of all the parents from the bottom of my heart.
Et félicitations. It's always miraculous to see when progress is going quickly and to see the forces that propel us towards the future.
On aimerait ça être avec Emma. We wish we could be with her tonight. We congratulate her on her best, and she deserves it.
Yes.
So, 5 stars.
I wish my mom good luck because she deserves it and she worked hard for it, and also because she's helping a lot of kids which need her help. And also I'd like to thank the Montreal Rural School for all their help.